All right, we are on the draw here in match 3 of this league. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this hand is not a keep. 4 lands Bolt Mandrill's Shoal seems bad. 2 lands Bolt Mandrill's Denial Chart seems significantly better. We're gonna keep this. 3rd land, probably not something we want right now. Let's see what the opponent's up to. And we're currently 0-2 in this league, if anyone wants to know our record. The first one was close. The second one was less close. We'll put it at that. Inventor's Fair Lantern Control for the first time on this channel. Now that's exciting. Disrupting Shoal, a pretty good pickup. I'm going to play this Wooded Foothills and pass the turn. Alright, so anyone here not familiar with Lantern Control? We're gonna learn you some stuff. The opponent's gonna mill us, which is pretty fantastic. Given that we have this guy in hand, I can roll with that. Alright, what does this deck do? Cards like Pyxis of Pandemonium and Codex Shredder slowly get you to deck out. That's step 1. Mox Opal is mana acceleration, thanks to having a bunch of artifacts. We could shoal this, but I'm not going to. We'd have to pitch the Denial, which I'm hoping could be used next turn to counter a bridge. An Ensnaring Bridge, of course, because obviously our opponent's running Ensnaring Bridge. On the other hand, we would have to get this Mandrills out before this is any good. So I don't actually mind shoaling this right away and hoping that they just don't hit a bridge soon. So I think that's going to be the play here. Pitch the Denial. It'll also speed up Mandrills coming out at least somewhat, so there's that. Do they just have... Alright, that's fine. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's alright. They very well may have a bridge, and we might be losing this game already. Lantern of Insight. That's fair. That is fair. That's a good one to find. They are out of mana, so they can't play that, which is good. Lantern of Insight, the namesake card of the deck. We're going to fetch here. Probably grab a Breeding Pool. Get it into play tapped. Our life total is almost not relevant, but eventually they might kill us with things like Pyrite Spellbomb. I'm going to have to look up cards for you guys, maybe. Alright, so Lantern of Insight. Players play with the top card of their libraries revealed, and you can tap and sack it to shuffle target player's library. So what's the deal with that card? They are running it in conjunction with these here mill rocks. This is going to enter tapped because we're unlikely to need a lightning bolt effect. I do want a clock, so we're going to play this. In conjunction with mill rocks, Lantern of Insight says, control the opponent's draw step. So we're both going to play with our libraries revealed shortly. Pyxis doesn't actually mill. It exiles the top cards of both. Slight difference, but not that relevant. God, this looks awful. I feel like this was better on X-Mage, but I don't know. The opponent milling away our Mana Leak because counterspells are very good against Lantern Control. They also milled away Tarfire? No, they Pyxis'd Tarfire. So what the opponent did right there, they played Lantern, and they saw both top cards. One was it should say revealed here. Does it not say what was revealed? That's kind of lame. One was, I think, an Ancient Stirrings, but I'm not sure. They saw a Mana Leak on top of our deck. And they said if the opponent draws a Mana Leak, they're going to be able to counter Ensnaring Bridge, which means they could probably get a lot of damage in. That's bad, so I don't want them to do that. So I'm going to mill that Mana Leak. Then they saw a Tarfire on top, so they decided to deal with that as well. By using the Pyxis, exiling both top cards. We now have a Snapcaster Mage on top, which they're probably going to have to mill. Wooded Foothills represents a shuffle effect, which is extremely good against this deck. It allows us to sort of control our own draws as well. Let us fight back a little bit. They didn't slam an Ensnaring Bridge there, which suggests to me that they don't yet have it. They're probably going to try to mill over this Pyrite Spellbomb at some point. We're going to be fetching soon enough, which means we will be able to put more cards in the bin but I want that mana leak there because it's going to force the opponent to mill our Snapcaster Mage. Unless they just top deck an Ensnaring Bridge and slam it immediately. So the opponent here is going to try to control our draws, play an Ensnaring Bridge which says you don't get to attack. Yeah, they are going for it. I believe they're going to target themselves here. Yep. This is the part where they dig for their combo pieces. Lantern is basically a combo deck. You get a Lantern, you get to see cards. You get a bunch of Mill Rocks, you get to control cards. Pithing Needle, we're going to crack this in response. We don't want them to be able to name Wooded Foothills. More blue? Is that relevant? I don't know. Why not? We don't need the extra green. So, Lantern, Millrock, Ensnaring Bridge. Ensnaring Bridge plays the part of the interaction that this deck would have. They named Tybalt the Fiend-Blooded. I mean, I very much enjoy Tybalt the Fiend-Blooded, but I don't know why they named it. I mean, you could at least name Fetches, something. Mishra's Bauble, that ain't bad. They might have to mill that because that represents pseudo instant speed draw, which is something they don't like. We're going to swing with both of these. Definitely want to attack Lantern while you can, because soon enough they're going to mill themselves into an Ensnaring Bridge. So we're going to want to get our damage in and then burn them out if possible. I'm going to use Chart of Course here because I want to draw cards. This is going to force them to act if they don't want us to draw Bauble. Targeting us, yep. Mandrill's on top, is that okay? Mandrill's on top is okay. Second Bolt ain't bad. I kind of want to play out this Delver. Puts down the Stubborn Denial bluff, but I don't think that has that much value. So I'm pretty okay with that. Now, you may have noticed that I've been revealing cards with Delver that don't transform Delver. There's a reason for that. One of my friends, the person who got me into I won't say the person who got me into Magic, but the person who got me deeper into Magic to the point where I'm willing to buy a Modern deck. Do they just have the bridge? Nope. Oh, Whir of Invention. Oh, geez. They drew a good thing. They probably had that this entire time and were just waiting to get all the artifacts. They're going to Whir of Invention for an Ensnaring Bridge. Improvise, search for an artifact, this artifact in specific, and they don't have cards, so we can't attack. We have 2 bolts. They have this Inventor's Fair, which is going to gain them 1 life per turn. We're going to cancel our skip here, because I don't want them to see any more cards in our deck. And I believe we've lost at this point. We have Perilous Voyage. Oh, geez, we have Perilous Voyage. I've never had a main deck answer to Ensnaring Bridge. That means we play on, right? Yeah, we have to play on. Oh, but they have good control of our top card. 1, 2, 3 Mill Rocks already. The opponent can take it slow at this point and just make sure we don't draw outs. They don't have to kill us soon since we can't really attack them. We have fewer cards than they do, so they're just going to mill the cards that actually affect their game plan, aka deal with bridge. So I don't believe we actually even have a chance at drawing the Perilous Voyage. Unless we top deck a chart and it happens to be there. But I think we gain slightly more from scooping. What cards have they seen? These are face down. Goyf, Shoal, Denial. They basically have seen our deck. So I think we're just going to play towards the off chance that we build up a huge board, hit the Perilous Voyage while they're unable to deal with it. Oh, I forgot to reveal that. Yes. So anyways, back at it. My friend who got me deep into Magic plays Lantern Control as their Modern deck of choice. So naturally, I've dealt with this deck fairly often. Just about every time we play Modern, I have to deal with this stuff. It's the main reason I know how to approach the matchup. But anyways, I've had to face this deck a lot, and it's definitely the kind of deck that annoys people. I'm not a fan of cards like Ensnaring Bridge because they basically say we don't play Magic. Oh, actually, that Inquisition's not bad. Well, they don't want it. So, I've had to deal with Lantern on a pseudo-regular basis for a while now. So something I like to do is, when they have Lantern out, Delver always reveals. Because they already know the card, so I don't care about giving away the information. And I just like to stick it to the Lantern player saying, you see this card? I'm revealing this card to you. You know this card, but now you also know this card. And then I put it back on top of the deck and I draw it. It's mostly fun against my friend because it's a bit of a way I can annoy him back. But I'm totally going to do it to the opponent here. Doesn't really change anything from our perspective because we're just clicking yes instead of no. This is another War of Invention. 4x equals 4. I'm not sure what they're getting. Let's find out. Might be a Tezzeret. That'd be neat. Is it Agent of Bolas? I think that Tezzeret is Agent of Bolas. Not sure if Lantern actually plays that card. We might find out eventually. Like I said, though, the opponent is taking care to not overly mill us. They got a Witchbane Orb, which means they now have Hexproof. These bolts just got a lot worse. So we're going to have to engineer a board state in which we have enough power to kill them, and we somehow draw the Perilous Voyage. Or a Snapcaster Mage, that's possible too. I'm willing to reveal this Mana Leak because it's going to transform these two guys. Well, sorry, I'm willing to not shuffle away the Mana Leak. The opponent's also playing Mishra's Bauble. I believe that's a concession to War of Invention, but they might just also enjoy it. Not sure why they wanted our Delvers to transform. Denial, that's probably going to get milled. Anyways, we're going to do basically nothing. We're going to play the land they know about. Go to them. We're not going to spend too much time here because I don't want to end up losing to the clock. The Lantern player can usually afford to mill as many cards as they have mill rocks for on your end step because they get to untap their mill rocks before you're going to hit another thing. Before you get to draw another card, I mean. So that's usually perfectly fine. We have 14 power on board. That's not bad. We need more, but it's a start. If they get a second Ensnaring Bridge, we're probably just going to scoop. Perilous Voyage into Snap Perilous Voyage seems extremely unlikely. They got, I believe it's that Codex Shredder on the end. A little annoying that it doesn't mention how that entered the battlefield. We're going to draw Spell Snare. They don't mind that. Goyf on top. Pretty soon I think we're going to scoop. But we do still have an out here, and as long as we click at least as fast as the opponent does, not scooping doesn't actually bother me that much. I mean, we're playing Delver. There's Perilous Voyage. Cat's out of the bag. We're going to fetch. Keep the dream alive. You know, just in case. They now know we have a Perilous Voyage in our deck, but that's okay. Lantern of Insight, number 2, means the opponent is going to be able... Oh, it's on top of their deck. When they draw that Lantern of Insight, the opponent's going to be able to crack one of them to shuffle our library, acting as a pseudo-Millrock. They're probably going to get rid of that Thought Scour because it's instant speed draw, and that's bad for them. Good for us. Bad for them if we have it. Perilous Voyage is back. Oh, we should have played that Flooded Strand. Alright, so now we're playing to Snapcaster Mage. How likely is it that we hit a Snapcaster Mage here? We also still need a lot of power. I'm going to scoop. Am I going to scoop? I kind of want to play it out. It's becoming a lot less likely, though. As they get more mill rocks, your percentage of being able to hit the out and draw it goes down by quite a bit. I'm going to scoop. I don't think we have a reasonable chance of winning this game. I also don't think it's entertaining at this point. Now, I don't have a board plan for Lantern, but I do have an idea as to how to approach the matchup. For one, Artifact Hate is great, as are Blood Moon effects. Probably just 2 Blood Moon effects, even though they do have Thoughtseize. I don't want to flood on these, that seems quite bad. Maybe we want 3, we'll see what we're cutting. Shoal isn't that bad, I'm pretty happy to cut at least 1 Mandrills. Bolt effects are gonna go, maybe 2, at least 1. Vapor Snag looks pretty bad. They might board into some creature, but I doubt it. Perilous Voyage is fine. Simic Charm, a lot less good. 5 cards still need to go. Thought Scour is pretty bad. I mean, it's instant speed draw, but it's not exactly good. Spell Snare is going to go. And at this point, I want to start cutting shoals. We have 11 1 CMC blue spells. And as far as I'm aware, Lantern has better 1 CMC spells than they do 2 as far as I'm concerned. Better against us at least. We've got Collective Brutality, which we can counter for 2. We've got... That's all for the main deck. At least with these lists. In the board we have Seal of Primordium, I believe that's a 2-drop. Another Collective Brutality possibly. I believe Executioner's Capsule costs 2. Nope, just black. Search for Azcanta. Pyroclasm. So yeah, we're not looking to counter anything for 2. That means Spell Snare is going to go. And if we can't have decent shoal for 1, I'm just not going to have it. How many ones we got here? We board in 2 more of these. 15 threats. I can live with cutting another Mandrills. Maybe we cut a Snapcaster Mage instead, but that seems pretty decent. I kind of want the Mandrills too. So we have 13 minus 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that is a 5. That is a very hard to read 5. So we have 12 1 CMC blue spells. That's not the worst. It's just not great. We can maybe afford to cut Chart, of course, but it's actually not that bad here. I'm going to cut the 3rd Blood Moon to have, say, a Thought Scour. Make it a little easier to shoal things like Lantern of Insight. If you can counter Lantern of Insight, you're probably in good shape. Maybe instant speed draw will be something of an asset. Now, sometimes against Lantern, I board out Serum Visions, but it's not that bad. It's at least passable, I think. We're going to keep this. We're going to take a look at our sideboard. We did board in the mountain. I think I like boarding in the mountain, but I'm not sure. Until something like a Rest in Peace resolves, I want to be able to see these graveyards. We are going to start off on a Delver of Secrets, because I want damage. Ensnaring Bridge is at least decent here, because it offers a way to take out... Oh, we can play Explosives. Explosives is a decent card here, because it offers a way to take out Ensnaring Bridge. 3 mana to play it. Then just pay your 2 mana to crack it. Blow up Bridge. It's decent. Can blow up a bunch of mill rocks if that's something you need. Glimmer Void into... What do we got? Lantern is a really polarizing deck I find in the community. A lot of people hate it. Periphery Nodes, that's pretty good. I gotta say that's not bad. Yep. Thank you, Thought Scour. Gonna play this at the beginning of their upkeep. Delver's gonna go away, and then so will Periphery Nodes. I think we're gonna grab a blue source and cast a couple visions. We're probably gonna go for a Breeding Pool just because I want to be able to use my mana. Makes Blood Moon a lot worse. We only have 2 of those, though. I can live with that. I want both of these. In what order? We can scry for this Delver, potentially. We're going to draw the Delver first. Then we're going to draw the Rejection. No, then we're going to draw Tarmogoyf with rejection underneath to transform the Delver. We also might end up just getting rid of that rejection so we could go Goyf plus Delver. Periphery Node's going to go away. That's something I like. Periphery Nodes is really annoying if you have a few creatures on the board. There's the Lantern. Namesake resolved. That's alright. They now know about the rejection. I kind of want to hold on to this Thought Scour in case we can instant speed draw that. Do some shenanigans, you know. So I'm just going to do this. That way we have blue mana up, plus we can cast the rejection if need be. The opponent probably doesn't sacrifice the Lantern here, but they might. Ancient Stirrings, that's fine. We're not worried about that. Do revealed cards not enter the revealed card zone? That seems like a huge flaw. That's okay. That doesn't really bother me. From now on, when we're playing against Lantern, I'm going to pull out a notepad so that we can write down the cards we know. Because I feel like MTGO should track for us when revealed cards are drawn. Does it do that? Darkslick Shores, it's my turn, doesn't say anything. How about when we went to their turn? Turn them, draws a card. It doesn't say. That's very annoying. Pixis is alright. Second Lantern. Sure, that resolves. They might try to use one to shuffle our library. They did. So now we're going to go for this. And if they want to get rid of that rejection, they have to give up their second Lantern. Which they did not, because Lantern's pretty good for the deck titled Lantern Control. You know? Kind of a thing. I very much like revealing and drawing Mana Leak, so that's going to stay right where it is. Egg Salad. Alright, they scooped. Look at that. That's how you beat Lantern. Let's go to game 2. Game 3, actually. Back to the sideboard. What do we got here? What's good? I like all of my cards. The reason we board in Huntmaster in this matchup is not because we want the game to go long. It's not because we really need to game life, and it's not because we need to build up a big board. It's because of the text. Whenever this creature transforms into Ravager of the Fells, it deals 2 damage to target opponent. End sentence. Don't care about pretty much any other text on this card, except the part that tells you how to transform it back and forth. Huntmaster is here to give us wins through Ensnaring Bridge. You play your Huntmaster, and Lantern Control doesn't actually run that much real interaction. They lean very heavily on things like Ensnaring Bridge. So once the bridge resolves, you can pretty easily resolve a Huntmaster. You're going to end up hitting a lot of land drops against Lantern. They're going to mill you into lands. The game's going to go long, giving you a longer time to draw those lands. You're going to play your Huntmaster, gain some life, make a token. Who cares? Pass your turn. Huntmaster transforms. That's 2 damage. Cast a couple spells. Huntmaster transforms back. Pass the turn. 2 damage. If you can stop them from having an active Inventor's Fair, Huntmaster can actually be a decent clock against them. Anyways, I think this is pretty good. I like it, so I'm going to submit. We're going to run it back. See what's up. See if we can take game 3 against Lantern Control. This hand is kind of bad. It's not the worst. We have some decent interaction. We're going to have to get a Steam Vents with this. Use Visions to find more lands. I actually kind of like it. Yeah, let's do it. Looks like it's enough of a keep. If we didn't have these, it's probably a very easy mulligan. As is, we have really relevant interaction here. The opponent's going to see what we draw. They get to draw first. Here's a Darkslick Shores. If this is a Thoughtseize, they're taking one of these. Inquisition, same thing. They might take a Visions, but I doubt it. I imagine Blood Moon's the most threatening, but Rejection is extremely good against them. Denial's going to be awesome if they don't have the ability to play around it, but if they do, it's going to be a lot more lackluster. So I imagine Denial is going to stay in our hand here. Blood Moon and Rejection look like the real threats. Kind of ironic that our threats are pieces of interaction, but what are you going to do? Here's a Mox Opal, that's perfectly fine. Go to us. They're going to draw. We're going to draw. Was it good? Was it, opponent? It was. And how? Pretty unlikely they have the ability to play a bunch of artifacts that don't require them to tap for mana and then play out on Ensnaring Bridge. So I'm willing to tap out of Counter Magic here. Let's cast a Visions. Get some cards turning. Alright, Blood Moon mana in the Hizzle. Yeah, I just said in the Hizzle, deal with it. Do I want Disrupting Shoal? I feel like that's a no. I do feel like I want Goyf though, because I want a clock. If I could have both immediately, I'd probably top both, because we could play Goyf and then use Shoal to pitch one of these to counter something. As is, we can't, so Shoal looks a lot less good. Next turn, we probably are going to draw the Tarmogoyf, grab an island off of Misty, cast Visions, and hold up Denial. The other option is to just slam Tarmogoyf, getting a forest off of the Wooded Foothills. Not sure which I want to do. We want to play around Ensnaring Bridge if possible. Well, cat's out of the bag, so there's that. If they have land Ensnaring Bridge, we can't counter it anyways. So I think we're just going to go all in on the slam threat, hope you don't have it plan. I mean, they aren't guaranteed. Oh dear. Oh dear. I shouldn't have done that. They don't have enough artifacts. Yes, they will. They have Welding Jar. It's okay. False alarm, folks. I almost made a misplay. But it turned out not thinking about the thing was actually pretty irrelevant, or is it? I think it's irrelevant. I'm going to play this. Mishra's Bauble not going to help our Goyf's cause whatsoever. If they don't have the bridge now, we're going to have an active Stubborn Denial. That's pretty good. What do you have, opponent? Welding Jar. Is it a bridge? It's a bridge. Drat. Well, on the flip side, we still have stuff. I think we're going to slam Blood Moon, because it's going to turn this off, and make Weir of Invention a lot worse. That does mean we're tapping out, but that doesn't seem that bad, actually. We're going to need either multiple destroy effects, thanks to this Welding Jar, or a Perilous Voyage to deal with the Ensnaring Bridge. Goyf can't attack. What a sad state, being unable to attack. I think I just want to play out Blood Moon. Seems pretty decent. Let's play this Bauble. And go to the opponent. We're probably going to end up using the Bauble sooner rather than later to get a velocity of cards going. I want to hit more stuff. Witchbane Orb. That's fine. Also, we can't deal with it. Oh, that makes Huntmaster a lot worse. Ooh, dear. Alright, that's fine. Curses gone. Bauble ourselves, because we can no longer look at their top card. Wooded Foothills. Thank you very much, Bauble. I appreciate it. Alright. We can use one of these two, which sort of lends credence to the idea that we shouldn't have used the Blood Moon, because it means we don't have double blue, which is a cost. How likely are they to have more Ensnaring Bridge effects? Not that likely. Huntmaster can no longer target the opponent. I think we just need to find a real answer here. Mandrills can probably go to the bottom. I wouldn't mind having a Thought Scour. Cast this. We're going to be using that again shortly. Pass to the opponent. Now, the good thing is the opponent doesn't have a lot of mill rocks here. In fact, they have none. That means they can't control our draw step. At least not yet. And that's very important, because the Lantern deck seeks to control your draw step to prevent you from being able to find an answer to the Ensnaring Bridge. That's how the lock goes. Lantern gives them the information. Mill Rocks give them the action ability I want to use as a verb here. And the Ensnaring Bridge gives them protection from the angle through which most decks tend to fight. I don't actually hate drawing that Misty Rainforest, because it means we get to have Denial and Huntmaster up. Probably should have bobbled last turn. Missed that. To be fair, it was kind of half buried, but still. Spire of Industry, look at our top card. I want to draw more stuff. I want to hit an answer, and I want to do it before they have a Mill Rock, so they have to sack this if they want to interact with our answer. 2 Misties, not what the doctor ordered. We very well may end up scouring away that Stomping Ground, because it does not look great. Go to the opponent. Knowing they're on Witchbane Orb, it's possible I shouldn't be running 2 Huntmasters. Mox Opal, Legendary, so it's not actually going to be that good for the opponent. We can't instant speed draw with a Thought Scour, given that it would require us to mill the opponent. So that's pretty I almost said irrelevant. That's pretty irrelevant. Mana Leak fell off pretty hard here. Alright, well, Huntmaster transformed. We're going to end up gaining a non-zero amount of life. That's something. Mox Opal's fine. They're just getting cards out of their hands so our Wolf token can't attack. We're going to draw land. It's a race to see who draws decently first. Doesn't look like anyone's winning anytime soon. In what is probably the least interesting game of Magic you've ever seen. I'm going to counter this because I don't want them knowing what's in my hand. Kind of sad that they drew the Inquisition just before the Weir of Invention. But they can't cast that yet, so there's that. Mana Leak might end up countering that eventually. Chart, of course. Look at you. That's something I'd like to draw. We're going to have to discard cards, which actually makes me think I should have been holding on to a non-zero amount of lands, but I still have 1. So there's that. They don't want us to draw that. Information gone. They also got rid of Weir of Invention, which probably isn't that great. Here is a Ghoul Caller's Bell. We found a Mill Rock, a turn too late for the opponent. They no longer have information. We still have fewer cards than them, though. What do we got? Is it good? Chart, of course. Oh, yeah. That's something I am willing to cast. Second Huntmaster, Disrupting Shoal. We'll get rid of this. Play this guy. Whoops. Costs green. Go to the opponent. We're still going to mill out before they will, but hopefully we're going to get there. We need something like an Ancient Grudge, because we need both sides to deal with their Ensnaring Bridge. I wouldn't mind a Perilous Voyage to just bounce it. Second Welding Jar makes Perilous Voyage look a lot better. We have nothing to do, so we're going to pass. Once again, I apologize for the gameplay that you are witnessing. It is not my intention for you to have to sit through this kind of stuff. In fact, I think I'm going to add a link in the description below to when this match gets interesting. Maybe, maybe not. Lantern, going to be extremely good for the opponent. Looks like there's a good chance that they won thanks to that. They're going to get rid of Snapcaster Mage. Good choice. Mishra's Bauble, not nearly as good. EE. Decent. Gonna cast this. The delayed draw, not nearly as good as something like a Thought Scour effect, although right now Witchbane Orb is making Thought Scour plenty useless in that respect as well. If the opponent goes for a Ghoul Caller's Bell and I respond with a Mishra's Bauble, we're not drawing anything anytime soon. Here's an Ancient Stirrings that we can't interact with. I'm pretty sure that we lost this one, but we do have outs. The more mill rocks they get, the fewer outs we have. They found another lantern, which is pretty good. That's going to resolve. I feel like we lost this one. I'm not sure we actually did anything wrong, but maybe I should have held up stubborn denial for an extra turn. That's possible. We're going to use this. They're going to have to mill that. You know what? It's entirely possible we win through time. Pretty unlikely where I'm concerned, but entirely possible. Can I just always yield to this? Yes. They did not care about us having chart, of course. They're definitely not going to care. Yield to this one too, please. We don't want to waste time on the clock. They're not going to care about Bolt. Probably won't care about Delver of Secrets. Don't think I need to chart a course right away, but I might. We'll wait till next turn. Probably should have done it on the first main phase. Can we yield to this as well? I don't want to waste time clicking through triggers. If anyone loses due to time, I want it to be the opponent. I think that's reasonable. Yep, they're going to get rid of that. Apparently Tarmogoyf's fine. We'll draw it. Shoal on top. Chart a course. I want to chart a course before combat in case we just draw into something great. Maybe that actually doesn't matter because we don't have the blue to make Perilous Voyage as good as it could be. Maybe we just get rid of this chat. The battlefield is getting pretty cluttered. We found an Ancient Grudge. That's a start. Get rid of this land. Alright, pass to the opponent. We're going to deal with some welding jars here. Bella's okay. Second Blood Moon, probably not something they care about. I do believe I'm going to use the Ancient Grudge in response to a Thoughtseize. Grudge, the bridge. I want to make them click through it. They're going to have to sack the welding jar. I'm not going to target it for them. That's fine. That's fine too. We can leave that in the graveyard for as long as we like, but I think I'm just going to do it now. What does regeneration actually read? I'm not positive this is going to work the way I think. I'm 90% sure regenerate only counts the first time though, so I'm going to blow it up. Yep. Alright, cool. Alright. We need one more out, and we have this bridge gone. And look at our board. It's pretty spicy. We're also gaining a lot of life, so I think the opponent's going to have to kill us through mill. Seems likely. Any Snapcaster Mages gone yet? Doesn't look like it. They haven't had a Pixis of Pandemonium yet. So we don't need to worry about any face-down exiled cards. Yup. Alright. Destructive Revelry. So this is what I'm talking about with Huntmaster. If they didn't have this Witchbane Orb, they would be screwed most likely. There's Snapcaster Mage. That's going to get milled. That's unfortunate. I'm going to play Blood Moon. Just in case they deal with one. I believe EE was milled. EE was not milled. EE was shuffled. That makes playing out Blood Moon a bit worse. Blowing up Ensnaring Bridge involves blowing up Blood Moon, which is not great for us. Speak of the devil, he shall appear, yada yada yada. I'm just gonna do that. Our graveyard's getting a little bit bigger than the opponent's. Information isn't a concern here, so I don't care about that. The opponent can mill us as much as they like. Another Lantern is good. I think the opponent has this, but they might not. We're definitely going to play to our outs. They're going to let us draw this Mandrills. Did we turn over both charts? Chart a course, chart a course, chart a course, chart 1, chart 2. We turned over both charts, so it seems unlikely that we're going to be able to draw into any more outs. Is that enough? Yep, that's enough. Great. We could have the Huntmasters transform, but it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty confident the opponent's going to be able to mill 15 cards in 7 minutes and 45 seconds. So I very much doubt the time is going to matter here. But it might. Almost certainly won't, but it might. They have another bridge on top. Can't show that. If we had another blue source, we could. So I think we messed up here. And by that I mean I messed up here when I decided to not hold up Stubborn Denial and hope that they didn't have a bridge. That seems like something we shouldn't have done. Huntmasters are going to transform. They would have done more damage. I'm pretty confident if not for Witchbane Orb, Huntmaster would have won the match here. Probably even without the bolts we drew. Second bridge means Perilous Voyage is no longer an out. We can't snap Voyage because we only have the one blue source. Another out I cut myself out of by playing the Blood Moon. I'm pretty sure I lost us this match. Game 3 was definitely winnable. Game 1, I don't remember exactly how it went. I'm going to play this Tarmogoyf. I might bolt myself to transform these Ravagers, but I don't think I care about that. Screw it. Bolt's not doing anything anyways. Take 3, gain 4. We may as well play some cards. Now, here's the thing. It's almost 100% likely that we have officially lost. But there's a chance our opponent screws up, makes a bad play, forgets to mill something that ends up being extremely important in those last 9 cards. So I'm going to let it play out, given that there are only 9 cards left in the deck. This game actually didn't end up getting interesting, so I don't think I'm going to link to anything as far as timestamps go for you guys to not have to sit through this. It's a match against Lantern Control. Watch at your own peril. If you don't enjoy that kind of thing, just don't watch it. What can I say? If you do enjoy matches against Lantern, go ahead. We smoked them out of the water in Game 2. That was fantastic. Do think I screwed up this game, but that's okay. That just means we're now better at playing against Lantern, and in the future we might smash them. 0-3 in this league. By the most likely outcome, I want to say, it's pretty likely we're going to lose this one. And we're already 0-2. Here's a Goyf. I think Perilous Voyage is somewhere in here. Can't say for sure. Destructive Revelry. Is it really Revelry and then Voyage? Seriously? Now that's just rude, deck. That's just rude. They're going to mill that. I'm going to GG's them. We no longer have a library, and that's going to mean we lose as soon as we draw a card. So let's not have priority. Anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. I still kind of enjoyed it. Game has ended. Let's close that box. Can we close this? No. Get that out of the way. I think tapping out for this first Blood Moon was a bad play. We should have held up the Stubborn Denial to play around in Snaring Bridge a little more. Hoping they didn't have it was probably a little too loose. I think the hand was good. I don't exactly remember what it was. I think this one was the one lander, but I'm not sure. That might have been game 2 that I kept the one lander. Anyways, besides that, basically I was playing the Blood Moon. I wanted to lock out Inventor's Fair as early as possible in case the game came down to the burn plan. I also wanted to turn off some of these lands to make it a little harder for them to cast their spells. Having one Mox Opal means they're not going to cast their Abrupt Decays, War of Invention. I'm not sure there's actually anything else that locks out, but those are the most important ones, basically. Abrupt Decay is obviously very good against us, and War of Invention tutors for whatever combo piece they need. Mostly this. Also acts as extra copies because you have to counter the War of Invention, and then you might not have the counter for the bridge. But anyways, I think besides screwing up there, this was a pretty good match. We're now 0-3, but I honestly don't care at this point. I'm pretty beyond caring about my record right now. I just want to try to make some good plays. I'm also not trying to hammer out 3 leagues a week, which means I'm only going to be spewing so much money, so that aspect doesn't even matter. So, you know what? We're just going to play Magic, have some fun with it. We may or may not have some fun with it in this video, given that I'm sure plenty of you don't like playing against this deck or watching it. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have a lot of views on this particular video just because it's Lantern. Or if the view time was pretty short because of people having to sit through a lot of clicking. But anyways, I think it was still productive, and I had fun, so I think I used my spare time and my disposable income well enough. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video, or at least, hopefully, 51% of you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.